Okay guys, so now that we have already imported into Unreal Engine and run our first build, and we are very happy with the structural side of things, now we will move on to the interior. So if you have access to our Gumroad source files, the list of models are inside. If you don't have, do go to our Gumroad page. The link will be in the description, and gain access to the source file is completely free, and you can gain access to all these 3D models. So I'll start downloading and importing these 3D models into the scene. And I believe in the past few lessons you already know how to import models. If there are changes that are made to the to these models, and I feel that there's something to teach, I will then show you how it is done. So let's go. Okay, so I just added some models, and let me pause for a while. I added these ceiling pipes. Okay, and after I added the ceiling pipes, what you will see is I will actually group everything under structures. Okay, so whatever that we have done up until now, plus the ceiling pipes, I consider them as structures, and I group them together, so it's easier for me to kind of manage my files. Okay, and after that I imported 3 models for the doorway area. So the first one is of course my lighting, studio lights. Nothing much have changed. I just kind of like rotated. So what I did was I used some of the edit mesh and rotate, so that it doesn't look all straight down, then other than that, this is pretty the same. This is also pretty much the same, the bicycle. Okay, of course I renamed them to keep things more organized, and also I group them in one group. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the bedroom. And again, I like to keep things organized, so I would suggest for you to do the same. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, I've added stuff into the bedroom. One thing I just want to highlight is that you see the carpet, I didn't put it in a completely right angle symmetrical way. I rotate it a bit such that it doesn't look so right angled, doesn't look like a perfect square, doesn't look like everything is aligned nicely. So I think this is part of making it look photorealistic, whereby it has to look a bit organic as well. So that's why the carpet, I don't really make it so straight. Okay, so I think the other thing is there's a hanging lamp here. Okay, and you realize that I only put it on one side. Okay, I don't put it on both sides. So again, it's not everything have to be symmetrical, not everything have to be perfect and comes in a pair. Sometimes all these irregularities will actually make things look a lot more organic. Okay, so I'm going to put in the study now. Okay, the other thing that I want to share is that originally I have put a lot of shirts and kind of like towels and some clothing here. But I realized that those shirts, because they have very high poly count, it increases the build times by a long time. So I have removed them because um, these are essentially inside a cupboard. So I guess if I have to choose, probably I would just remove them. Unless you really have the time, you want to go for perfection, then yeah, putting in all these shirts and other things inside the cupboard, because this cupboard is perforated, you can see through it. So putting all these things inside will increase the realism, but weighing the time that it takes to build, I have decided to remove them. So so this is one thing that you may want to consider as well in future projects. Sometimes you have to weigh between a complex static mesh. Is it worth it? Is it worth that extra time to build? So yeah, so I decided to remove, and I will continue with putting in the meshes for the study area. Okay, so I have put all the things in the study room together. Again, a lot of these, as you can see, how I position the chair and how I position the mouse and the keyboard, they are very organic. I don't put it like all in a right angle position. There must be some, you know, randomness to it. So again, the shelves is not not symmetrical, but you know, I put it at an angle, you know, so that it looks organic. So I think there's really no secret behind all this. It's just additional attention to details, to make it look more realistic, look more like someone actually lives in the house, you know, rather than everything is at a right angle. So yeah, so I'll continue to put in all the interiors, and I'll see you in the next section. Okay, so I've imported the kitchen, you know, the kitchen cabinet, the shelvings, the fridge, and then I realized, okay, the fridge is a bit too big. I mean, after putting everything, I realized that I don't have enough space, and you can see that the fridge is jutting out a bit from the inner walls, okay, the toilet walls. So what I'm going to do is, you know, as a quick solution, I'm just going to scale this fridge, okay, and scale it smaller so that it will look flush, you know, on this area, right? So I'm going to do is I just highlight the fridge, press the scale button, and I'm just now I was trying it. It's about 88% of the original size, is just nice. So I scale and put 88 on all the sides, and then that's it. So once I snap this into place, snap that into place, it should be flush. Okay, perhaps I don't really want to snap my fridge, so let's try to move this out a bit. Yeah, okay, so this looks better, and we need to move the fridge down. So let's move it down. Okay, so that's for my kitchen, and then let's move forward. Okay guys, so I have managed to import every objects into our scene. I hope you have done the same. So we can now proceed to move on to the next step, which is to bring all these objects into Unreal Engine. So the OCD in me, I have kind of rename every single object to a proper naming convention. So and I group them according to logical groupings. Okay, and one thing before we export, I just want you to quickly run through App Store relink bitmaps. Okay, this is just to make sure that I'm sure there are a lot of bitmaps that have been missing. Okay, so we just want to run this through once, okay, to link back all the materials, okay, from the models that we downloaded. We may not be able to do for every materials, but we just run once through, and then the rest, they are not relinked, we will create them in Unreal Engine. So why don't you go ahead and relink, and then I'll see you in the next section. Okay, so once you have relinked, we will now export this into a datasmith format, and I'm sure you know how to do this already. If you have not, then let's just export this to datasmith. Okay, I will put it as loft final. Okay, so it's the same thing, visible objects. Oh, before that, let's unhide everything first. You know, sometimes you'll realize, oh, I hide this, I hide that, and then in the end you forgot to export some of this. So loft final, and then I'll see you in Unreal Engine. Okay, and now we are in Unreal Engine, so we are going to import the datasmith file that we have just exported. Now let's create a new level. I like to do it in a new level, and I'm gonna save it into lesson 4.2. Okay, so let's create a new folder. Okay, save it as map 1, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to import that file, the loft final. So this is going to take some time, and what I want to do is I want to be very conservative with the light map resolution. Okay, this is because put it this way, I want to assign everything to the minimum light map resolution, and then as I see fit later, assign bigger light map resolutions. If we put too large a number here, like for example 512, you'll tend to see that even those very small objects, like a shirt button, let's say, or or for example a key, in the scene, these are very small objects. We don't need such a big light map resolution. You'll realize that there are a lot of small items on the sofa. I think there's like a couple hundred of them, and if we assign light map resolution of 64 to each button on the sofa, it's gonna crank up my build time. So I'm gonna be very conservative, assign 16 and 64, and then for large items in the scene, like the walls, the floors, I will then change them manually. Okay, so be very conservative, and then I'll import now, and I'll see you in the next section. Import my file. Took me quite some time. I think a good 10 minutes to 15 minutes. So as you can see, some of the materials were brought over, some were not, so it's okay. We'll most probably recreate them and reuse them anyways, because we are using a very metallic theme. So the black metal materials will be used for almost all the major furnitures. Okay, so I think I'm happy to stop here. In the next video, I'll go through a bit more about material creation, creating HDRI, and how to have a high resolution background and stuff like that, and we'll discuss a little bit more about lighting. So everything from here onwards is all in Unreal Engine, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye. So before we end, I just want to share a bit more on how you can support the channel. So first of all the PowerPoint files that we use in this tutorial, you can download it. So when you download the PowerPoint files and any project files that we give to the channel through Gumroad, your email will be captured by us. So we will send some marketing materials in the future if you allow us to do so. Of course, you can choose to opt out, but this will help us in our marketing efforts. Of course, the final UE4 project file, it will be for sale as well. So if it is priced at a usual tutorial cost fee, but this is absolutely not compulsory. So if you feel you want to support the channel, you can get the UE4 project file for a price. So all these links, as we are preparing for the YouTube videos, we will slowly add all these files into our Gumroad page. So some are not ready yet, some are already can be downloaded. So you can refer to the YouTube description for the links to where to download these project files. And also, I just want to share with you the way to contact us. We have a YouTube channel. You can contact us directly through email, and of course, the easiest way to find us actually is through our Facebook channel. You can directly message us. So these are the links to where you can contact us if you have any questions, you need any help. Feel free to just look for us. Of course, if you can, remember to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification button. So when we post a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next lesson.